world champions and European champions, really, which took everyone by storm. But the Dutch has always been the team to look up to in Europe. Today, it is a make or break for Spain, but at first, Holland against Australia. The Dutch haven't changed their side.
Yeah, that won't be a surprise. Because now that the Dutch have a special game to play against the Australians, going through the history, the Holland have never won Australia. I think the last defeat was 2-1 against the Dutch 2008. So it is out of content of football now. And going back again, last Sunday in the Hockey World Cup, the Dutch lose to the Australians 6-1. I think that's going to be a different thing, but it's going to be something else adding to this game. So this is going to be a very special game. But with the pace the Dutch are going, I think that's a signal which has been sent to all teams in the World Cup. Definitely, this time around they are ready for it. Going by the history, the Dutch, I think they've been the runners-up for 3 times in the World Cup. I think this time round they had a complete team which can push hard, and it is always demanding for them. Always, they had a better side coming to tournaments or competitions, but it's always unfortunate for them. But I think this time round it's going to be something different.
Of course, it's going to be different, but today they would either like to put their foot off the gas and do things rightly, and then just finish and then just wait for whatever Chile can do later to Spain, and then that would determine how they come out of this group. But for me, they're the ultimate winners of this group.
Yeah, from the looks of things, everybody would expect them to close things out today against the Aussies and get their 6 points and hopefully even better their goal margin.
Could improve.
The biggest enemy for the Dutch today is themselves. It's not to be complacent. After a marvelous performance against world champions and football dynasty of 5 years, Spain, demolishing Spain in the first round. Now it shows character if they can match that kind of performance against Australia, which is going to be quite different because it's not the same tactical side like the Spanish are. But we'll see.
How do you make of the partnership, or what do you make of the partnership between Robin van Persie and Arjen Robben up front? Deadly, or what?
Well, deadly is a good word to use, yes. Just some small facts. RVP has scored 10 in his 9 matches. Last 9 internationals, and Robin has scored 6 in his last 6. They make probably the best duo, like the Suarez-Sturridge partnership in the Premiership, and they do it internationally. And they have a good support from Schneider, who knows them from youth days, and that understanding is still there, and I think that's why they can bring the best out of each other. It's a fantastic partnership.
Fantastic. The all-round Dutch team, of course, with De Guzman and De Jong anchoring the defense. I think it's a 5-3, 5-2-2-1 formation, but on paper it's completely different that the Dutch would like to, present as soon as the whistle goes, because this formation is the very formation they demolished the Spanish with. And I can't see why they wouldn't use it against, less fancied, Australia.
Yeah, but you never change a winning team. An experienced coach like Van Gaal, I wouldn't think that he will get complacent, the word comes up again, and try to show off against the Socceroos, who are also a respectable side. So I expect them to stick with the 5-3-2, with the 2 wing-backs going in support for and De Guzman plays a crucial role because he's the box-to-box midfielder. He's the one that goes with the attack and comes back to help De Jong, who is also just the beast that sits in front of the back 3 and protects them from, So it's a solid side.
Very solid. For Australia, Keva, what could be their game plan at this stage, knowing that probably they're meeting the best team of the 4th round so far?
Obviously, they still have to sit behind and wait for them, knowing that the Hollanders has the fastest man in football now, being Robben. And the Dutch team is almost at their pitch. They have the composure, they have the maturity, they have the technique, the tactic, and the ability. So obviously, for the Australians losing, they're going home. So this it's going to be a game ball different. They need to sit behind and wait for their chances, like how the Mexicans do, and rely more on their goalkeeper, because he needs to save a lot today to keep them in the tournament.
Hopefully, he has to be in the best form to save Australia. That's the Socceroos. Just to remind you that this is the official coverage of the 2014 FIFA World Cup coming to you from Brazil. AfriCell, as always, has the play and win for you out there. All that you need to do is just call or send an SMS to 1010, and AfriCell will call you the moment you enter this studio. I assure you that you are a winner, because there's loads of money, loads of cash to win, because we have over $2 million worth of prizes to give. All you need to do is 1010 and either send or call. Our guys are out there waiting to receive and treat everything that you happen to get them over. 1010 will do you the trick, and the moment you come in this studio and call, you are a winner, I can assure you, because money is in abundance. Yeah, it's all for you. This is the way AfriCell celebrates the World Cup, in a mode to just say thank you to the Gambian public. Now we move on. Last night we saw Brazil, of course, the most people's favorite in this World Cup, frustrated by Mexico. I mean, is it the right word to use, frustrated?
They were almost dominated by Mexico, in my view, because I saw Mexico, before the World Cup started, their coach was bullish and said his side could win the World Cup. I laughed it off back then, but after yesterday, anything is possible. This tournament is getting more and more interesting. It's about tactical discipline and execution, and Mexico executed almost perfectly. They just couldn't get a goal in, and they contained Brazil for the most part, and Neymar, he gave an effort, but he couldn't penetrate because they were very disciplined defensively, and Rafa Marquez showed real leadership, and yeah, it was one of the games of the tournament so far.
Was it just a tactical masterpiece? Because all that you said, yes, they were contained. Others would disagree with you, because probably the Mexican goalkeeper for many carried the day, because he saved them. It is not like anything. Of course, if you look at the statistics and everything that came out of that game, he stood out.
He did. He did. He had the game of his life.
He was forced to.
He was forced to. He's a very acrobatic goalkeeper. I've seen him in the French league make some decent saves. But he's also an on and off kind of guy. So thankfully yesterday he was on.
He has to be, because of the opponent.
Yeah, and you know, it's the Central American superpower in Mexico and the South American superpower in Brazil. So there's a lot of heritage and culture and pride between these two sides, and it showed yesterday.
That's what many people believe, because Mexico has always been there trying to, whenever Brazil are trying to fly, they want to bring them down.
Oh yes.
And yesterday was just one of those days. But it also has to do with the manner in which the group is poised. That also tells the story, because Mexico, of course, Cameroon, Brazil has Cameroon next, and Mexico had Croatia. So Mexico, of course, knowing the history between them and Brazil, had to say probably let's go and frustrate them, or let's get something out of this game. We can go out and see what we can get against Chile, because Brazil hopefully are going to say that definitely Cameroon is just a walk in the park.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that. The Cameroonians, they are a very stubborn side, and they don't really concede a lot of goals. They don't win, but they haven't conceded a lot. They've been always solid defensively. Now that they also have a big problem that Eto'o is no longer available and highly doubtful for the one against Brazil, you cannot see where they can score goals, because the past 3 goals they've scored in the World Cup were scored by Eto'o. And they scored, if I am right, they've only scored like...
Not much. Not much.
Yeah, 5 goals in like 11 matches or something like that, and they have never scored more than 1 goal per game since 1994. So
interesting statistics, Keva, because what we're going to see probably, what we saw last night is just, as I said, what the group may pan out to be, because tactically you have to approach these games in a way that interests you.
Of course, yes. That's the essence of the tournament, especially this triangular tournament. This is why it's always important to win your first game. Getting the first 3 points, it always gives you ample time or ambitions to move on. Because losing the first game, now coming to the second game, you are almost a step out of the tournament. Because now you need to be composed, one need to be composed, one need to be tactically well disciplined, one need to concentrate highly to contain the opponent, make sure not considering a goal, and you have to move forward to get a goal. So that makes it very much difficult in a triangular tournament to lose a first game, which is very unfortunate for the Australians. And coming to the second game now, they had a tougher opponent because the Dutch have to prove to the whole world that